Hello students, we will see flow through pipes in series. In this type of pipes which are connected in series are known as compound pipes, and these are the pipes with a different length and different dia connected in series to form a pipeline. Okay, and so consider a series of pipes which are connected with length L1, L2 and L3. So we are taking three pipes together with the diameter D1, D2 and D3, and let V1, V2, V3 be the velocity of flow through the pipes, and F1, F2, F3 be the coefficient of friction for pipes 1, 2, 3 respectively, and capital H be the difference in water level in two tanks. Okay, so these two tanks are connected with three pipes, okay, with a different diameter and different length and also different coefficient of friction. Okay, and we are going to find out how the head loss is happening due to these connections. How the head loss is happening, we are going to find out. So you know that this is the basic equation. If the discharge should be same for three of these pipes, the discharge should be same. So Q is equal to A1 V1 equal to A2 V2 equal to A3 V3. Okay, so here I am going to find out how this much head loss happened. So this is the water level, you can see, isn't it? You can see the water level, and this is the difference in head. So this H should be equal to the head loss that happened in the through the pipeline. So H is equal to, so what all head losses we should consider. So here first thing is there is a head loss due to friction at the entrance. So that is I have written as 0.5 V1 square by 2G. So in the last class we saw what are the equations you have to by heart for each type of type of cases. That is for the exit, this is the sorry, for the entrance this is the head loss. So this is 0.5 V1 square by 2G. So this much happened here, and when after entering this pipeline there is a major head loss happening here, that is the loss due to friction. So that will be 4F1 L1 V1 square by 2G D1. So this is the head loss due to friction in the pipe 1. So this is a major loss. Next one is, so now it is entering to a new pipe. So we have to consider what, not the entrance one, we have to consider the contraction one. Why? Because it is entering from one pipeline to the next pipeline, and suddenly it is contracting. So you have to consider the contraction equation, that is V2 square by 2G into 1 by Cc minus 1 the whole square. Then what should be the next one? It should be the head loss due to friction for the second pipeline. So that is for F2 L2 V2 square by 2G D2. The next one is, it is again entering to a third pipeline. So when you you have to note that when you consider from one pipeline to the next pipeline, you have to see whether if it is contracting or whether if it is expanding. So corresponding equation 2 should be chosen. So here what equation should be chosen? Why? Because from smaller diameter to the bigger diameter. So which equation we are taking? It is for the enlargement, head loss due to the enlargement equation should be taken. That is here V2 minus V3 the whole square by 2G is the equation. Okay, and next one is head loss due to the pipeline 3. Okay, so that is 4F3 L3 V3 square by 2G D3. And next one is here, now it is entering, or now it is finally arriving to the second tank. So to the second tank, so its journey is finished, isn't it? So it is the exit. So this is the exit. this is the entrance and this is the exit. So you have to consider the head loss due to exit. So this is H exit V3 square by 2G. So these are the equations you have to consider while finding out the head loss. Okay, and here for to simplify the equation, what I am doing is I am just neglecting the minor losses. So there may be conditions where in the question you will be asked to consider the minor losses also. Okay, so at that time you have to take each and everything. See here, this whole equation you don't have to by heart. Why? Because for each question these conditions will be different. So maybe sometimes maybe instead of 3 pipeline you will be given only 2. Maybe instead of 3 pipeline it will be maybe 4 or 5, like that. Okay, so you don't have to by heart all these equations together, but you have to remember what is the equation for the entrance, exit, and contraction, enlargement, and all. Okay, so you have to by heart each equations, now not as a in series pipeline condition. You shouldn't by heart the whole thing together. Okay, I think it is clear to you. And again, to simplify this one, I have neglected the minor losses. So the minor losses is this one: entrance, contraction, enlargement, and the exit. So considering only the major losses, that is the head loss due to friction, so the equation will become like this. That is for F1 L1 square L1 V1 square by 2G D1, likewise. Okay. And again, taking a special case, suppose if all the pipeline is having a same coefficient of friction, so F1, F2, F3 will be same. So that I'm taking as F, small f. So that is 4F 2G. 4F by 2G is the common thing for all the terms. So I'm taking out that one, and the equation I can simplify like this, isn't it? H is equal to 4F by 2G into L1 V1 square by D1 plus L2 V2 square by D2 plus L3 V3 square by D3. So this is the equation. So this equation is for the case where you are only considering the major losses when you neglect the minor losses. Okay. So in the next question we will see how a question is done. So here difference in the water level in 2 tanks are given. Okay, are connected by 3 pipes in series of length. Length of 3 pipes are given and diameter of 3 pipes are given. Okay, so respectively is 12 meters. This 12 meters is the difference in water level. So capital H is 12 meter. And determine the rate of flow of water if the coefficient of friction. So coefficient of friction is different for those 3 pipes. So it is 0.005, 0.0052 and 0.0048 respectively. Consider first one, considering the minor losses. Okay, so first one is determine the rate of flow if the coefficient of friction. So first thing, I am neglecting the considering the minor losses and neglecting the minor losses. These are the two parts of this question. And so first I have listed out what are the given data. So this while working out a question, this will help you. Okay, this will help you. First you have to read the question carefully and you have to suddenly write down what are the given data. Okay, so here I have to take first I have to take the minor losses also, considering the minor losses also. Okay, so in that case, for second thing you have to remember is that you have to draw a figure. See here in the example it is not given, it is not drawn, but soon after writing on the given data you have to draw a figure of the question. So for the time being I am taking the above figure. Okay, so it is like just like the same question. It's a very similar to this one. Okay, so capital H is given as 12 meters, and here F1 F2 F3 given, D1 D2 D3 given, L1 L2 L3 given. So this is like the same thing. And you have to see whether D1 where D1, here you can see where is D1. Yes, D1 is 300 mm, so this one is bigger, then it is contracting to 200 mm, then it is expanding to 400 mm. So I'm just looking at the figure. Yes, it is same only. So first it is 300, then 200, then 400. So the question and the figure we have drawn is very similar. So here this is the question. So what all things we have to consider while considering the minor losses? First, entrance, head loss due to entrance, that is 0.5 V1 square by 2G, and here there is a head loss due to friction, then it is contracting, so there is a equation for contraction, then again passage, isn't it? It is passing through this pipeline, so there will be head loss due to friction again, then expanding, so enlargement equation should be given, that is head loss due to enlargement should be given, then again there is a head loss due to friction, then there is a exit, so that also should be considered. So here you can see all the things I have considered and I have written the equation. So whenever you do a problem, first write down the given data, then draw a figure, then you have to write down the equation. Okay, then after that you have to show the substitution. You have to show the substitution here. And so I have written down the equation here. So I am actually looking at 0.5 V1 square by 2G. So here in the given data, V1 is not shown here, isn't it? I can't see the V1 part. So what should I do? I can't see the V1 part. So what should I do? So here in the given data, V1, V2, V3 are not given. You can see in the question V1, V2, V3 are not given. But what you can do is, there is an equation here, isn't it? Q is equal to A1, V1 equal to A2, V2 equal to A3, V3. So from here you can see V1 is equal to Q by A1. V2 is equal to Q by A2. V3 is equal to Q by A3. So you can substitute V1, V2, V3 in terms of Q, isn't it? So I am substituting. So here you can see in the equation you need V1, V2, V3 and all. So I am substituting in terms of Q, which is a common term for all, and you can take it outside and find out the common term Q here. Why? Because Q is the only unknown. Because A1, A2, A3 and all you can find out with the help of diameters given here, D2, D1, D2, D3, isn't it? So here there is a mistake. Instead of Q square, I have only written Q here. It's a mistake. So V1 is equal to what? V1 equal to Q by A1, isn't it? V1 equal to Q by A1. So what is V1 square? Q square by A1 square. So here a Q square is missing. Q square by A1 square. So instead of V1 square, I have substituted Q square by A1 square. Okay, and here also there is a V1 square terms, again Q square by A1 square. So in all the term there is a Q square part, because there is V2 square, here there is a square term, this is V3 square. So there is a Q square and I have taken outside Q square here. So this is Q square. Don't this is a mistake. I have unknowingly written Q here. This will be Q square. Okay. So you know that A1, A2, A3 and all you can find out with the help of D1, D2, D3. So these are the values. You substitute in the equation. You show the substitution first, and then you know that H is given as 12 meters. And from here you can see what is Q square. We can find out what is Q square and take the square root. You will get what is the discharge in meter cube per second. So here I have simply converted it to liter per second. Yeah. And what is the second part? There is a second part. This was the first part considering the minor losses. So along with the head loss due to friction, which is a major loss, minor loss also I have considered in the first part. And what is the second part? Second part is by neglecting the minor losses. So you don't have to consider this entrance. So neglecting the minor losses, here you can see you are considering only the major losses, that is head loss due to friction. So here for the first pipe, this is the head loss due to friction. For the second pipe, this is the head loss due to friction. And for the third pipe, this is the head loss due to friction. So adding these three terms, you will get the value. Here you can see these are the three terms, this one plus this one plus this one into q square. So that is, this is the value into q square is equal to head, that is 12 meters. So q square from here, I will get q square, and root of this value you will get the this one, that is the discharge in meter cube per second. I hope this is clear to you. And here I have to just, again there is a mistake here. So this one, this is a mistake. So that is q square into 1207.25 is equal to 12. So from here you can see this will be q is equal to 1. So value you get. Okay, so this is just a writing mistake. That's all. And I hope this question is clear too. So if you have any doubt, you can ask regarding the C. Okay, thank you. And the next one is equivalent pipe. So what is an equivalent pipe? So it is a pipe having a uniform dia, okay, with the same loss of head and discharge of a compound pipe consisting of several pipes of different length and dia. Okay, and the uniform dia of the equivalent pipe is known as equivalent size of the pipe, and the length of the equivalent pipe will be equal to the sum of the length of the compound pipe consisting of different pipes. Okay. So here equivalent pipe is nothing but it is a pipe having uniform dia. Okay, so you know that a compound pipe will be having different length and a different dia, isn't it? So it will be a combination of different pipes. So equivalent pipe is nothing but you are finding out what is the uniform dia of that pipe which is having the same loss of head and discharge of as that of a compound pipe. Okay, and here you'll see how that equation comes for each for a compound pipe. Okay, so here you know that this is I'm just considering only the major losses. So I'm suppose the example is for three pipes, combination of three pipes. So head loss due to friction for first one, second one, and third one. So this is H is equal to so and so. Okay, and instead of V1 I am substituting in terms of Q. So here you know that all the other terms are the same, but instead of V1 I have substituted in terms of Q, that is Q by A1. Q by A1. So A1, you know that if D1 is the diameter, it will be pi D1 square by 4. Pi D square by 4. So that is 4Q by pi D1 square. So I hope this is clear to you. And again same for V2 here. So instead of 4Q, that is Q by A2. So A2 is pi D2 square by 4. So here like this. And again same for V3. Okay, and here this is the equation. So I am taking out the common terms. So these are constant, that is 4 square q square by pi square. This is a common one for all. So I am taking out that one, that is 16q square by pi square, 4 into 4f by 2g. So in the bracket it will be only L1 by d1 raised to 5. How d1 raised to 5? Here there is d1 square, 2 into 2, that is d1 raised to 4 into d1. So that is d1 raised to 5. So for same for each term. And here so this is the equation for the head loss. If head loss for if it is a compound pipe, so if it is a combination of three pipes. Now what is our agenda? It is to find out what will be the size, or how to find out the size, that uniform size of a equivalent pipe. So again I am taking H equivalent. So I can equate these H equivalent and H. Why? Because the condition was like that, isn't it? Condition is both the pipes should have the same discharge and same head loss. So H equivalent is 4FL V square by 2GD. Suppose you are considering a pipe of capital L and capital L as the length and small d as the dia. Okay, so this is the major loss for that H equivalent. And again, I am taking or substituting Q by A instead of V here. You know that Q by A is equal to, here it is clearly written Q by pi d square by 4. It will be 4Q by pi d square. So substituting in terms of V instead of V here, so it will be like this, isn't it? Again, taking out the common terms, that is 4F by 2G into 16 pi square 16 Q square pi square. I have taken it outside. So inside the bracket it will be L by d raised to 4 into d. So that is L by d raised to 5. So to find out the size of a equivalent pipe, what is the next condition? You have to equate H equivalent and the head loss of that particular compound pipe. So equating, we will get the equation as these. This is a common term. So this one and this one is same. So it will cancel. So you can strike off those two common terms. So the finally equation will become like this, isn't it? That is L by d raised to 5, L1 by is equal to L1 by d1 raised to 5 plus L2 by d2 raised to 5 plus L3 by d3 raised to 5. So this is the equation. And you know that L is what? L is the combination of, that is a total length of that compound pipe itself. That is L1 plus L2 plus L3. So only change is in the dia. What is the uniform dia of that pipe? We are finding out with the help of a one term known as equivalent pipe. I hope this is clear to you. And I will see one example. Okay, so three pipes of length, this one, and this one. So this is 800. Okay, 800 meter, 500 and 400 meter of dia. Dia is 500 mm, 400 mm, 300 mm. So I have written down L1, L2, L3. So this is the common given data, and this is D1, D2, D3. So this is the given data. Okay, so I have written in terms of meters. Okay, and these pipes are so it is connected in series. These pipes are replaced by a single pipe of length so and so. Okay, so here you can see 800 plus 500 plus 400 will give you 1700 meters only. So you are replacing it with a single pipe, means actually you are replacing it with the equivalent pipe. So this has the same concept that of a equivalent pipe. So find the dia of the single pipe. So you are asked to find out dia of that particular equivalent pipe. So directly you substitute this equation, this one. Substitute in this equation, and this is the equation. So you are asked to find out this d. Okay, simply substitute all the datas are given, other datas are given. So L is 1700 d by d raised to 5, this is the unknown, equal to 800 divided by 0.5 raised to 5 plus so and so plus so and so. So all the data are given. So finally you will get one answer like this. Okay, so this is the this is I've just written an equal to sign here. This is d raised to 5. So d raised to 5 so this is see, this value I have written down here. D raised to 5 I have written here. It is so and so value you will get. Okay, so from here you have to raise to 1 by 5 will give you the answer like this. D is equal to 0.372 meters. So I hope there will be a confusion here. You just simply substitute here. You just do the calculation. That's all. So you will arrive at this answer itself. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. Thank you. Hello students, now we will see flow through parallel pipes. So in this case, consider a main pipeline like this, okay, of diameter d, and it is dividing into, in this case we are dividing this pipe into two branches, and again it is joining to form a single pipe. Okay, so in this case, in this particular case is known as a parallel connection. Okay, so so here you know that this is the discharge Q, and it is divided as Q1 and Q2. Okay, so finally the discharge, total discharge will be Q1 plus Q2. So that is the first condition in the parallel pipe situation. And the second condition is the major losses in these pipes. So these are the major losses in the pipe, isn't it? So it is due to friction. So these two branches, in these two branches, the head loss due to friction should be same. So we can equate the head loss due to friction for this branch and that of this branch. Okay. So this is the second condition if it is a parallel pipe situation. So again we are applying some special conditions here. If F1 and F2 both are same, and if we are taking it as F, then the common terms will cancel. So it will be L1 V1 square by D1 equal to L2 V2 square by D2. So this is the condition we can use if it is a parallel pipe situation, and this is the second condition. This was the first one. So okay, so we'll see one problem here. A main pipe divides into two parallel pipes, which again forms in one pipe. The length and the dia for the first parallel pipe is given. Okay, while that of second pipe are so and so. Okay, so length and dia is given. Find the rate of flow in each parallel pipe if the total flow in the main is 3 meter cube per second. So Q total discharge is given 3 meter cube per second, and the coefficient for each parallel pipe is same and is equal to 0.005. So F1 and F2 are same, it is equal to 0.005. So these are the given data. So first, the thing is, first you have to list down what are the given data, and then you have to write down, if possible you draw a figure, and then the equations involved in that particular question. So see, in this case it is a case of parallel pipe. So the first equation is Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. So I have written down Q equal to Q1 plus Q2, and you know that Q1 and Q2, instead of this I can substitute A1 V1 plus A2 V2, isn't it? But the problem is, we don't know V1 and V2. Okay, so you are asked to find out the rate of flow in each parallel. Q1 and Q2 is asked. So in this particular case, A1 and A2 you can find out with the help of diameter D1 and D2. So pi d square by 4 I have applied, and so you got the area A1 and A2. Okay, and but still we have two unknowns, V1 and V2, isn't it? So A1 and A2 we substitute in this equation. So again this equation involves two unknowns. So we need one more equation to solve this particular question. So what is the second condition? Since this is a parallel pipe situation, you can equate the head loss due to friction. So we have explained it earlier, and so we am cancelling out the common term here. uh, Here L1 and L2 both are same, 2000 and 2000, so these cancel each other. So this is V1 square by D1, and here it is V2 square by D2. Okay, so in from this I can substitute V1 in terms of V2 like this. Okay, so D1 and D2 are given, substitute in it, so you will get an equation like this. You substitute in terms of V2. Okay, so in terms of V2 you are substituting for V1, so this becomes an equation which only involve V2. So from this equation you can find out what is V2. Okay, so V2 I have found out, and then substitute in this equation, so in this relationship, so you will get V1 also. So you got V2 and V1. From that it is very easy to find out the discharge for each pipe. So the Q1 is equal to A1 V1. So area into this velocity will give you the corresponding discharge, and again Q2 is equal to A2 V2. So you will get the answer like this. I hope this problem is clear to you.